Awesome. Well, thank you for doing this.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm tired, but that's
You are? Me
I
too.
well, you know, you get to be flown out to promote your movie. I'm off doing movie stuff for a million different people. It was a New York to LA flight, so I don't even know what time it
It's
is.
brutal. Try to get that Delta one so you can at least sleep on the plane.
I think one trip away, so I need
Yes.
good thing that the actors are back. There we go. Uh,
Yeah.
congrats on the film. Uh,
Thank you.
my pleasure. I remember when I saw Dolomite that, everyone comes out of the movie and goes, I know we're supposed to talk about how good Eddie is in the movie, but like, I think my favorite part was Divine. Who's she? And you're like,
Mm.
and then that kind of builds up. And it's interesting that I think, you know, to be excited to see you in a movie, right? It's, it seems almost more exciting just because you're like, supporting actresses almost never are the selling point, which is a shame because how many times you
Mm.
watch a movie and you leave and go, that was my favorite character. It's more times than not. So I think the fact that all three of you are getting equal praise for this, it's a long time coming, I think.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Joey.
Oh yeah. I heard you talking yesterday at the press conference thing and how you were like, Alexander, I'm good. I don't need to watch the movie. And as you're talking, you realize like you've kind of seen a couple of them and
Yeah,
it,
no, so to be clear, I asked him what as the meeting was coming to a close, I realized I was like, "Oh, this guy seems pretty cool." And so because I was considering to do the project, I was asking him what of his movies, tell me
yeah.
what of your movies what movies have you done? And so he was like, "No, it's okay. Don't worry about it." I said,
Oh,
"No, no, it's important to
he's
me."
the worst person to ask that. I'm just like, no, no, don't worry about me. Like filmmaker now,
Yeah, and I'm
hobby,
like,
don't worry.
no. Yeah, and I was like, no, it's important to me. I want to know what your style, the whole thing. And so he starts listing off movies, and the two in particular that I knew of well and had watched was Sideways and Descendants. I just didn't know and put together, oh,
Totally.
this is the man that's responsible for
He
those movies.
just imagine him like really sheepishly like bringing up the Oscars and be like, yeah, no, they people like those movies. You're like, oh, it's good. It's good for you. I think they'll let you make another one. Uh, it's always funny the people who like, but that's who you want to work with. People who aren't like, let me tell you about what
For
I've done.
him, he said he loved it. That was one of the things that, as he tells me, that was endearing about me, I guess. But you know what I love about that though? What I love about that though was that it was a real exchange. I wasn't hyped off of the, oh my god, to be, you know what I mean, to
Oh,
be in an Alexander movie, I'll do anything. No, we really had a genuine, creative to creative conversation.
and honestly, more times than not, and I've been doing this a while at this point. I'm very old. Um, people are people. They want to be talked to like a person and treated like people. And more often than
Exactly.
it's weird for them when you don't. Like, because everyone was no one. No one started out famous. And listen, if you know the secret, like let me in, I'd like to. But everyone was, this is the first job. I hope I get a second one. Maybe I'll be able to pay my rent on the next job. And then some, there's a select few that get up to another level, another level. And I think it is sort of heartening when you just get talked to like a person, like, oh, we're all
Yeah.
trying to play and make this thing. And like, it's the best job in the world. Why would we not be happy and enjoying
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
And I think it's even more so the case with you because you have, I think, without question, the hardest role in the film because so much of what you're doing is with your face and eyes. And I think everyone can associate with it. But I think if you've had loss recently, you really do be like, yep, that's the face you make when you don't want to talk about it, but
Yes.
you're in it. And
Yes.
I I I lost my mother in January, and I saw this at
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Telluride. Thank you. In August, September. I don't know. Time is meaningless. And those faces, I'm just like, yep, that's what you do when you're like, I'm out and I'm socializing and I don't want to be. I'm around people and I don't want to be. And I
Yes.
I there's not even a question there. It's just like it's such a thing to be able to watch that and go, she's got it. She knows it.
Thank you very much. That's a
Uh,
very good compliment. Thank you. That means a lot. I
I'm
appreciate it.
pleased. Well, because I'm sure you read the script and it's on the page and it's also like there's a lot of like verbal sparring, and you get to have the fun of like, I'm an actor and I'm gonna be witty against Paul Giamatti. He's gonna do it back to me. And that's what's more fun than that. But then also, oh, and then on the next page, I'm gonna be standing by the music and I'm gonna have a moment. All right. But that's the thing. They're just
Mhm.
moments. It's up to you to make them memorable.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right.
And how do you sort of make that happen? Because you're doing so much in essentially frames as opposed to like a whole scene centered. And there's no scene really centered around her grief.
Oh, but in a way there is.
Well, the
And you
whole
mean in
movie.
like the silent parts?
Yeah.
Or is that what you're talking about in
Sure.
particular?
Like the moments of grief are almost always embedded within something else that's happening. It's also that.
Yes. And then those silent moments on the page, script wise, there is a whole detailed, almost prose narrative
Hmm,
written explaining what she's doing. And so what I had to do was I had to fill it. We would sometimes spend an entire day
yeah.
on me just being in the space.
And
That's a trip.
no, it's you think it would be easy, like, okay, just I'm quiet, but it's like having to figure out what to do with your hands. You're like, I don't know. Like someone tell me what to do. But also I think here having the space, I think, to do it. And
Yeah, because Alexander didn't micromanage me, which I so
yeah,
appreciate. It would be like, okay, this is your room, and today you're going to put together a puzzle. You're
mm,
gonna fold up some clothes, and you're gonna take a shower. You're gonna get ready for the Christmas party. You need to do your hair, makeup, pick out your dress, and get dressed.
yeah,
Go.
yeah. Do it how you think she would do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the creative process, I think, at its best. Because a director has a picture in their head, right? And no one has the exact same picture. We can't possibly have the same picture, but there's 100 other people who are trying to find that same picture. And then there's
Yes.
the actors who are even more of their own take on things because you're bringing a whole different life experience. You're bringing acting tools. You're bringing just observational tools of, oh, I've seen that person somewhere. And meeting in
Right.
the middle, I think it's so important that a director is like, we're here for you, because that's honestly that's what it is. Like a good director knows what they want, but then they hired you because you're good at your job. Show me what you got and
Exactly.
let's find it. And you
Mm-hmm.
can tell here that like the collaborative process is very evident. Like there's no one
Thank
being
you.
marched around. It's
Thank
incredible.
you.
Oh yeah. um it's just also, I think, seeing it as sort of the evolution of your career also. I think, a couple of
Mm.
years ago, I don't know, like I think it's just so exciting to see, like, every time I see you in something, the role is bigger, the role is better. It's just it's
Mm.
probably your taste, frankly. So good for you. But
Thank you. I try.
yeah, well, it's the combination of, obviously you get offered what you just did, right? Most of the time it's, oh, I was in this, here's 10 more of that. And they're
And I
never,
always say no.
yeah. So I think being able to pick through and find the, I haven't
Mm-hmm.
done this, I want to do this, I'm excited about this, is
Mm-hmm.
also, what else do you want from someone, as a viewer? What else does someone want as then we have confidence in your ability to make a movie we're going to enjoy? Like it's a trust that you build.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. And that's what I aim for, to have a trust with my community and my community also within the viewers. Whether that's called fans or not, I want to build a community of like, listen, I promise you, I got you. I
Yeah.
can't speak for the other actors. I don't know what else is going to happen in the, movie or TV show, but I got you.
Yeah, this Paul Giamatti character, who knows? He might suck. We'll figure it out. But I'm gonna be fine. But it's the thing, like, especially, the more casual viewer who doesn't necessarily know the everyone's names in a cast, but goes, I know that person. I saw them in this, that, the other thing. And there are people who love those actors and actresses. That's just not how they're built to be like, oh, I'm buying a ticket for a Divine movie. In the same way, like a Margot Martindale or an Ann Dowd, but they have that feeling of like, when I see you in a movie, I can relax because I know, like, that's going to be a good character. It's going to be a good role, and if they're in that movie, the movie's probably going to be good too. And it's the soft trust, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, yeah, it's something that I think the fact that you don't take it for granted is why it will continue, because I think
Oh yeah, no, I'll never take it for granted.
Yeah. Listen,
It's a
let
privilege.
yeah.
I'm sure you feel the same way too about what you do. It's a privilege.
Yeah, I almost make fun of the people who take it too seriously. I'm like, it's great that we do this. It's a very dumb thing that we do. We're very lucky. You have to always be like,
Mm.
I had to get off the plane and go talk to you guys. Oh my God, what a horrible day. No, this is great. Like the fact that you get to like, there's so many worse things you can do. The worst
Mm.
thing said is still how many people around going, what can we do to make your day better? Like, no job has that.
No.
So I think the fact that at the end of the day, you can also look at something and be proud of it and consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yes.
like if it was honestly, if it was something you weren't proud of, you could also look to I got paid and I did my job and I feel fine about that. And no
Mm-hmm.
one's upset about that. Like rent is great. Paying rent is a great thing. But when you have the bonus of I also consider this art and like I can be proud of it and I can tell my friends go watch this, you'll enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the secret sauce because then you start to look for that more often. And obviously, there's not going to be holdovers every time, but when you go like, this is my baseline, this is the type of filmmaker I want to work with, these are the type of actors I want to work with. You
Mm-hmm.
you set yourself up for success, and then you also have people who say the same thing about you. Like, I want to work with Divine. I don't want to.
Yeah.
It's it's just very exciting, I think, to see your career kind of on the upswing and consistently on the upswing because it's a career worth celebrating, honestly.
Thank you so much.
Oh, it's
That's
my
very
pleasure.
kind.
I aim to please. As we wrap up, is there like if somebody came to you and said, "We're ready to do anything you want," is there a type of role that you're like,
Mm.
I've got a thing that like I've always wanted to do? You know, like directors always want to make a western. I don't know why, but they always want to make a western.
It's because westerns are hard.
Yeah, no one wants. They
It's a
should.
big budget. It's a lot. I think it reflects it flexes a lot of
Yeah.
muscles to do a western.
I think especially
Uh,
a director of a certain age, they also like horses. They're just like, I want to
mhm.
horses, get paid to be around horses. But no, I think actors, it's such an interesting question because it's like sometimes you don't know until the role comes, but you kind of have a sense of like, if I was going to do anything, I want to be in this environment or I want to be doing this kind of challenge. And obviously, I think challenge is a part of it, but just being able to, I don't know. Like, yeah, I think it's open for you. Like, is there something that you would be like, this is, if there's one job left, I'd want it to be this job?
For me, I don't know, maybe because of where I'm at in my career and the choices and things that I desire. For me, is more so of what you just stated earlier of a feel or an aesthetic. What we experience in regards to the professionalism and the caliber and the quality. I really can't emphasize that word enough. The quality. Um, is something that I want to demand of not only myself, but those who I work with moving forward. The stories is a myriad of stories, but I had experience full on here of how much more you can create when there's quality.
Yeah, it's it's a good thing. It's inherently a good thing. And I think the work speaks for itself. So you should be incredibly proud. And I look forward to more of these. And honestly, I think when the awards start coming in, it's going to be interesting to see because there's going to be even more of those like, I don't want to do that role. I did it a million times. But in a way, it's a
Mhm.
compliment. Like, oh, it's great to be offered. So
Oh, sure. It's
it's,
all a compliment.
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I think honestly, just enjoy the ride and we're all excited for the next thing.
Thank you so much. I
Oh, it's my
appreciate it.
pleasure. Thank you for doing this.